Greetings, every peoples, your cult of personality here, ToonKritic's today. Tunes are the name of my game. Welcome back to Roundtable is Magic, the show where we take a look at Season 6, Season 2, all those other parts of the show, but we are here, finally, on Season 7. I am just as excited as you guys are. We have a great episode to talk about today, and we got a bunch of people here with us, of course. We have Keyframe.
Podcast.
Well, she did the intro anyway. We have Golden Fox.
Let's try not to bottle up our feelings of how much we can get aggravated by all these interruptions, right, Zach?
God damn it, Fox.
I'm just saying.
I mean, that cloud did look just like a nebulous version of ToonKritic, so.
Oh, I get it. It's because it's red and black, isn't it? Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
We got British Ninja. Seriously?
What a highbrow podcast we are. Damn.
We have Voice of Reason.
I almost had an aneurysm with this episode.
This episode is more disappointing than my son.
We have Lightning Bliss.
I need chocolate milk. Be right back.
Yeah, you probably should do that. And, of course, a round table would not be complete without its long-standing member, Derek.
Derek.
That's Derek
And
for you, everybody.
Who was Derek kidnapped today, ToonKritic?
Well, Derek has kidnapped a rather cool individual. I've met him at Winnie City, and I figure why the heck not? He has some okay content. He's not cringy, so that's a plus. So I have brought on today...
More than this podcast.
I know, right? The cringe just oozes off of this podcast. We have today Razor Reviews.
Help. I've been kidnapped. Someone came to my door. This amorphous, weird-looking pony that kind of looked like a table has held me against my will. Please help.
He
Send
had
help.
in-eye
Save
glasses.
Razor. He looked like some weirdo. He was really tall. I don't know why. I thought it was a she at first, though.
What kind of glasses was he wearing?
Anyways, today's episode that we have is all bottled up. It is a Stralight and Trixie episode. It's funny. I remember making my video saying... No, go ahead. Sorry.
I think we should let Voice start this out.
Sure.
No. Have me go last for the good stuff.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I want to say that a long time ago I made a video saying, oh, Stralight being good is one of the worst things ever. Nowadays, I'm just like, you know what? This was a good decision. I like this Stralight. Oh, how the times have changed. Anyways, let's get this started. I am going to pick... Kefram.
Okay. I love Glim Glam. Glim Glam was the best character in this fucking episode. I felt... What?
No, there goes the PG rate. You know what? Kids watch this podcast anyway, and if they complain that there's bad language, who the fuck cares? Continue, Key.
Hey, no.
It's really their own fault for watching it in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean,
As
come on.
I was saying,
I feel like
Glim Glam was the best character in this episode. Like, oh my god, I related to her so much because for a long time, I was in counseling for a long time for this, and then eventually I counseled others on it. I have a huge problem with emotional repression, and especially when it comes to very negative emotions like anger and sadness. Yeah, literally bottling up. And the fact that they made Starlight's magic and everything so tied to her emotions, kind of like, you know, energy that a physical human has. So a lot of times when you are someone who does run on a lot of emotions, your energy is based on how you're feeling. And seeing Stralight get emotionally exhausted by trying to hold back emotions, basically, you know, sacrificing her own well-being for the sake of her her closest friend, it felt really relatable. And having her final blow up at the end and stuff, it was just this cathartic feeling of, I've experienced that before, and they written it very well on Starlight's point. Like, Starlight's character and what she was going through. I really related to that. I really appreciate how they presented it and everything. It's not like an ill will or a temper tantrum. It is that legit, just instead of handling things in a healthy way and healthily getting it out when the situations are there, but letting it build up and fester until it becomes uncontrollable and you get so angry at the drop of a hat that the bottle breaks. I think they did a really good job with that from Starlight's point of view. What they did wrong in this episode, I'll get to that later, but I really did like how Starlight was written in this episode. I feel like even people who don't particularly like Starlight can see some kind of relatability and some kind of sympathy with her in this episode. I pass it on to Golden.
That's your cue, Mr. Fox.
Golden.
Fantastic, Mr.
Me?
Fox. There.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you also go get chocolate milk?
Hello?
Yeah,
I got
we're right
it.
here, Fox.
Yo, yo, yo.
Okay, I thought I said...
What?
What cue?
He's
I
gotta
think
go.
he has internet issues at the moment. Fox, we were saying,
Well,
like,
okay. Well, while Fox is dealing with the internet issues, I'm going to pass it off to Ninja.
Ow.
Stop. Brett, don't do that.
Don't play the microphone.
Okay, can
like
you guys
the
hear me
bongo.
now?
we
Yeah,
heard
I
you
got
just
you.
fine.
Brett, I passed it off to Golden Fox. I mean,
Okay. Can you hear me this time?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, Golden. It's not a
Hey,
case of
don't
we
yell
not
at
hear-
me. If internet's gonna have a problem, I'm gonna be picky about it.
Anyways, your
Okay,
point.
it's-
I like the pretzel bag joke.
Okay, admittedly,
that-
yes, that was
I'm
pretty
sorry.
funny.
No,
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 it's just because the way the whole
Yeah.
scenario is that Starlight is spending her effort making cupcakes, and by the time Trixie gets carried away making all these teacups, she decides, "Oh, I got a solution to that." And at first I thought, let me guess, is it going to be one of those cracker snack things from Equestria Girls? And then she just like throws a bag of pretzels on the table. I'm just like, wow.
I wasn't even laughing at the pretzel thing because that's funny as well, but all of that build up and it's just, I like the pretzel joke. Like, oh no, that was your comedic timing was purely perfect.
That was unintentional, though.
That was an unintentional, fantastic payoff to build up. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that do like about this episode, but according to the to what's going on in our very own chat, I'm gonna leave it to them. I'm gonna stay away from the fire, so I'll pass it off to Bliss.
Is she back?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, she's back.
I know a lot of people are going to have a negative for this one, but in spite of its placement, I really like the song.
Oh yeah, there's a song in this episode. I almost forgot about that.
This song?
I'll get to that in a bit when it's my turn for the negative.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's going to be hitting on this because of the song's placement. I know, and even I can agree the placement is kind of bad. But
Perfect.
I love the song. I love the beat. It's got remix value. I can already perceive the fandom making their own versions of it. I love that it's just so hip and chip and happy, and I'm actually seeing a version of all of us singing to this song, and it's kind of cute when I think about it. It smiles in my face.
It's a very Equestria Girl sounding song.
Now,
Have to reconcile.
I have something to say about that. If people really want to hate on this song, allow me to remind you that in 7 seasons of this show, this is the first song that is purely about friendship. In Friendship is Magic, this show called Friendship is Magic has never had a song that's just purely about friendship. They've had songs about after saving the world, after emotional issues. This is just a song about them being friends. Chill. It's not a terrible song, people.
No, it's got a really nice beat. I love the instruments. I love the lyrics. I'm not going to talk about. I'm reserving my negative on this one too, and I'm not talking about the placement. It's for something else. But I will pass it off to Ninja.
Oh, okay. As a little anecdote, I thought the song was beautifully foreshadowed at the beginning. It's like, yeah, they'll probably sing a song about it. And I was like, ha.
Ha.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so I know that there's a lot to talk about with this episode, and I do love it. This is going to be my hill to die on this episode, because I think it's really good. But something that I picked up while watching, to give context, I suppose, I'm a fan of this YouTube guy called Every Frame a Painting. He does a bunch of really good analytical videos on editing, like specifically he's an editor. And throughout him, I learned this awesome technique called matching visual scene transitions. And to summarize that, it's basically a cut between two different shots or scenes, but visually the shots look similar, like the shape of a building matches the kind of imagery you see in the next scene. It's this really cool effect. And with this episode, what it did is something very similar called a matching audio transition. Like, I suppose to give a brief example, when they're getting chased, or when, yeah. So between the cuts between Trixie's group and Twilight's group, they always end on the exact same word, or they always start on the exact same word. Like in Twilight's group, they're like, we can't solve the puzzle, nuts. And then it cuts back and Trixie's screaming, nuts! Because she's getting nuts thrown at your face. And they keep that really consistent throughout every single cut between them. And it's really cool. It just shows how much detail that went into writing this episode. It was really smart and, it's like, wow, they actually thought this through. Like, it was consistent with every single cut. It was really funny. I thought it was just really a real diamond in the details kind of thing, you know? I thought that was awesome. And there's a lot of awesome things in this episode, and I feel like I'm going to be the defender on Positive Mountain against these naysayers, these cretins.
Says the cynical one.
This episode. Says the most cynical, yes, because I'm cynical of all of you. That is true, I'm King Cynical. I'm also King/Queen Discord, that is true. Yes, anywho, I pass it off to... Oh my god, I just realized I rhymed throughout most of that. Anywho, Razor Reviews.
All right. Thank you. So, something I would actually kind of agree with that. It's also, you know, kind of like there's a lot of good details I think you can find in this, but I think the main thing that I liked about it was Trixie. Trixie was great. She was. Yeah. I love Trixie. She is my technically, if you exclude all the main six, she is my favorite character. So to see her and just in a normal episode in a casual setting is really, really cool. Love that kind of thing. All of her jokes were funny. Like, she's a really funny character in general. And obviously I think she's very complex. So with that, in total, I think it's really, really good. I think she really added a lot to this episode. That's the whole thing. So I guess that's it for now. So I guess
that's all, folks.
Yeah, that's
end the podcast.
I guess...
Just go home.
Yeah,
there is
exactly.
no negative about this episode. These people are wrong. We'll just move on. Stop watching now.
Fine.
If you're on YouTube, stop watching right now.
All right. All right. I would like to pass it to who hasn't gone yet.
Voice? I don't know. Voice was gonna go last, I think.
Yeah, he's gonna go last.
Is it
Toon next?
Bliss, I think.
Toon Bliss and...
No.
Blissy went. So it's just Toon and Voice.
I'm gonna pass it to ToonKriticY2K.
Okay. Now, I think perhaps the most interesting about this episode is the whole concept, the whole metaphor that they use, like the whole bottling up your anger thing. I was most fascinated by that aspect of this episode. I saw that no matter when it comes to draining your anger, it physically drains you over and over and over again to the point where you're just like, you kind of need that anger, because if you don't have it, then either you're perpetually happy or you're just miserable. Anger is a part of ourselves that we don't often see in a positive light. I think it's important because, for one, it makes us feel a little bit more human. If we take out one emotion from our lives, it really doesn't make us feel complete. And here I am waving around a psychology degree that I don't even have. I'm going to pretend that I know everything, but I don't. But I think that the concept, how they went about this in the episode, is probably my favorite way that they executed it. Because look at the picture in the upper right corner of the podcast thumbnail. You can see that Starlight is not having any of this today, but it's good to have at least some kind of restraint, even if it is your best friend / possible lover. You know, by the way, I'm still calling it. Word things a little bit differently, guys, because when I was there seeing Mr. Babs come with everybody, and when Trixie's like, that's one of the things I love about you, Starlight, everyone started freaking out because everyone assumed...
Oh, Jesus. I knew that was going to happen.
Freaking trash.
Why do people think that love is purely romantic? I love chocolate. I don't want to put my dick in it.
Yeah, well, there are some people who do. In fact, there was a video of a guy who wanted to stick his dick in a, a Big Mac.
You need to stop right now.
Anyway,
anyways, that is my point. So now, I'm just gonna shuffle over here behind the bunker because Voice probably has something he wants to say because Lord knows that Voice's rants are legendary here on Roundtable.
Okay, the one thing I absolutely loved about this episode. Trixie getting what she deserved. Oh my goodness, that was so freaking cathartic. Just like...
Thank you!
You're welcome, Derek! just having...
Pretentious blue floof!
Just having, like, Starlight's emotions being transferred through Bulk Biceps, Granny Smith, and the Drooler Pony that we don't know the name of. Just like laying it on Trixie, just constantly. He's like, that was so relieving because oh my god, I hate Trixie!
Oh, Jesus.
Holy, this.
I'm gonna take off my earphones.
I'm gunning to the hills. Just let Voice rant. Just let him rant.
Earbuds are already broken before bruh.
Just go, Voice. Just go.
Never in this entire show, not even Zephyr Breeze, did I want to force choke someone. Just that ending line with Trixie. Like, sorry, Glimmer, haven't you learned anything about not using magic to solve your problems? No, if we learned that lesson, how will we ever have fun?
Oh, God.
I have never seen Voice this bad. Jesus.
Oh
my god!
I think you blew out one of my earbuds.
Oh, you're straight up. It's already broken, so I'm good.
You owe me a new pair of earbuds, Zach.
My apologies.
Yo.
Voice!
I'm glad I was on this one.
I feel like I'm trying to stop a tidal wave with a tiny wooden shield here.
Voice!
Yes.
I love you!
I love you too. No homo.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Voice of Thespio. Make the ship art now.
Are we allowed to rebut?
Yes, you can rebut.
No!
No. Okay.
Derek is
I'm exhausted.
Nothing will change that!
Oh.
We are here at Roundtable is Magic. We respect other people's opinions, Derek. So yes, you can rebuttal.
In
Ninja.
case they're wrong.
Derek, do you have something you want to add to the class?
Die, Trixie, please!
God, don't wish death upon things.
Like,
I'm Derek, I do what I want!
I think we've given Derek too much power.
no,
When did Derek
this is
become a prick?
This is Will's Derek. Like, we all know that Derek is omnipresent and Derek can come through any of our voices. Like, I'm talking through Derek right now. But yeah, Will's Derek is a bit of a prick.
You prick!
But my tiny rebuttal would be that, I don't know, I guess I've always watched things like Cat in the Hat, where the moral of Cat in the Hat is always, you can have a bit of fun, like, you can break the rules a little bit, just don't let it go too far. I feel like that's the kind of angle they were trying to go with that last line. Like that, yeah, we're allowed to use magic and have a little bit of fun, as long as it doesn't get out of hand like this did.
I would also like to add a little rebuttal as well. That Trixie, on purpose, was supposed to be annoying for the story. There was, like, at the beginning, it's more, like, whenever Starlight laughs, is usually when it's a joke. Right, so the audience is supposed to laugh and Starlight is supposed to laugh, like, you know, yay, Trixie, you're so good at magic and having good hair. Starlight literally laughed in that scene, so it's supposed to be funny. But the other ones is supposed to be annoying. So you're not, it kind of is supposed to have the audience reflect Starlight's emotions, and they do that really well. So I think, you can hate her, but it's like, it's kind of the point. There you go.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Well then.
Is that his negatives, by the way? Is that
I think that was
Yes,
Voice's
that was-
negative.
Okay.
Yes, Razor. I think that was Voice's negatives.
Jesus and
If
H.
that-
Christ
if-
on
if-
Friday night.
If that was his positive,
Okay.
I would hate to see what his negative would be.
No, that was his
Yeah.
negative.
Thank Christ. Anyway, to future tune before you upload this, I would strictly recommend having a little cut in this podcast to put a little earphone warning in 3, 2, 1 before that happens.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. Alrighty.
Are we okay now? Voicey?
Oh, good. I threw my anger out. I didn't bottle up my emotions.
That's
No,
good.
no, you didn't.
That's
I just
good.
want to
No,
imagine.
I had that bottle up for quite a while.
And now we learn the lesson of the episode.
Hey.
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 See, it all works out. He bottled up those emotions for so long that Derek was starting to get affected by it. And that's why
Oh,
Derek was
there
acting
you
so
go.
aggressive.
Exactly.
It all works out.
Anyways,
Anyway, who's up next?
I think
To
it's-
Derek's place. We have a Die Trixie party later.
I think it's me next.
Yeah, Toon,
Yeah, it's you, Toon.
Okay. All right. Where do I exactly say my negative here? Because my negative is Trixie, but I don't know if I can properly explain it or not.
Well, let's just rewind back to about 5 minutes ago.
I mean, I was just sitting here listening to all this. First off, goddamn Voice, you need to go to some anger management or something, or anything. Because I have never seen this man get this angry. But for me, my negative here is that I actually kind of like Trixie like this. Not only is she a good plot point, but I can't help but watch this episode and feel like this is something that Toon and I would do. It's very eerily relatable because I feel like I am Trixie, and I don't normally like Trixie. But here she is, being
So you
like
hate
this.
yourself?
I hate myself. You know how much of a weird conundrum that is, Kefram? Hey, hating yourself twice over?
Yes.
I don't know where the frickle frackle it came from, but I like Trixie, yet I hate her at the same time, and all I can see throughout this episode is this is me just pissing Toon off.
It's a love, hate relationship. You say you can't handle it, but there's no way to stop this now. So shut up and kick me.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's all I got for that.
Okay.
So, who is before?
Me.
Razor.
All right, yeah, Razor, go and take it.
I like how tired we all sound now.
Yeah, exactly. All the adrenaline's come out of our bodies because of Voice and how much it scared us.
Go ahead and take it, you weird purple lemonade-looking motherfucker.
I'm pink. You misraced me.
Miss Race. Okay, you know what? You look like whatever the heck I want you to look like.
Whoa!
What is it?
Isaac. You know what? No. You know what? I'm gonna issue a complaint here. Hang on. Let me just get this back up. I'm gonna issue a complaint here because when I gave this your OC to my good old buddy Isaac Scholar to make for your badge, he had no idea what the fuck you were. He looked at me, he's just like, can I change his colors a little bit because the colors are killing me? And I'm just like, okay. And he gave this back to me, so you will appreciate and respect the artist.
So Razor, how do you feel about being insulted on your own guest star appearance?
I mean, is this what regular treatment of guest stars are like?
Yes.
This is a unique episode.
Unless you're Dr. Wolf, yeah.
Oh, okay. Legit. This is pretty cool, guys. I'm happy to be kidnapped to be here. Okay. I guess I'll get on to my points. Specifically for the negatives. So, obviously, this is going to be brought up either way, right? But I dislike the song for a very specific reason. Besides the fact that I just thought it was a song, and it makes the episode kind of boring. But the main reason I don't like the song is because the song takes up time which could be used for more interesting things, right? So, this is a Trixie. Trixie is involved in this episode. How about we get some more stuff about Trixie? How about we relate this episode back to Trixie herself? What would be cool instead of having that song is have the themes of All Bottled Up relate to Trixie's backstory for she had parents or whatever, and maybe their parents bottled up their emotions and got so angry at her for being this great and powerful Trixie character that they kicked her out, and so that's why she has to move around, and that's why she has no place to stay. That could be like part of her backstory. That could be really cool and tie the whole thing together. But they didn't do that, so they had a song that was like Equestria Girls level of like, and it's disappointing. That's all I have to say. I don't find this episode as entertaining as the first one of the two pilots, but it could have been a lot better. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Unfortunately, I won't be able to live up to Voice's complaints, but that's all I gotta say.
Okay, so who's up next?
We all sound
think
so
it was
chill and
Lightning Bliss.
tired now.
I know we are all tired. It was Bliss.
Okay, Bliss. Okay, Bliss. What is your miss about this episode?
Your miss.
Everybody's basically said everything that I think needed to be said, so this is at this point a nitpick, and it is about the song. As much as I love the song, I hate the lazy animation.
Yes, the reusing of animation.
Yeah.
That's something that's been a part of season 6.
Have you noticed they've been doing this almost every song now?
I noticed this specifically, and it's gonna work from Spice Up Your Life.
Yeah, I noticed it then, and then it kept happening. I'm getting a little annoyed about it.
The only song from season 6 that I remember that didn't have repeating animation was "I Can Do It on My Own" from Flutterbutter.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm getting really annoyed with this, and I'm
The
worried.
Changeling song also had repeated animation.
I mean,
I'm just worried that they're repeating this and they're getting lazy and they're not putting any effort into the animation, but they're putting all the effort into the song, which is good, but visuals are important too, guys. Come on.
If I were to add something onto that, this is what happens when you cut the hiatuses so short. The animators probably don't have enough time to work with what they have, so they just feel like they have to re-loop some segments in their very own songs. Quality over quality, guys. Quality over quantity.
You do know that they do have more time than just the hiatus. They start producing the next season, usually when the season that would be the present season is going on.
Well, then you know what? They have no excuse.
I guess I caught it. Nah.
I mean, if they're not getting paid enough, I'd understand, but I don't think that's the case, and I don't know if they're being directed to do this or whatnot, but there could have been more visuals than just repeating loops. I know I'm guilty of doing that all the time, but, we're getting really big into the season here. We're on season 7, for crying out loud. We got an MLP movie that's coming out really soon. Come on, guys, don't lay back.
I have a question.
Get creative.
I have a question. What do you define as repeated animation?
Something that's been reused as a cycle. You know how a running cycle works?
Yeah, of course I do.
It's
what I'm saying is
repeated animation loop. In this sequence, when they're walking around like on the circle or planet or whatever, it's during the chorus. They're repeating the chorus animation over and over. Like they did it twice, 3 times.
I mean,
watch it again, you'll get the idea.
Yeah. Such animation loops can be found in Giggle at the Ghosties, The Smile Song, Rarity's Boutique. It's throughout the entire show. It's just a thing that they do to save money, not really a... I see what you mean, especially when it drags on the shots for so long. Like, that's why I asked the question of what you would see as a repeated animation loop. I think if it is for shot the same, then yeah.
Man, you guys want to talk about
which
recycled animation.
Which was the issue in this episode, because both shots were shot for shot the same, just like the repeated split screen sequence in Spice Up Your Life with It's Gonna Work. That one was shot for shot the same. At least in Changeling Can Change, there was a minor change in it, because they did have Starlight they did have the background characters change their expressions a little bit more. But I understand why Blissey is annoyed, because while there are repeating cycles of animation, because this is a show produced in Flash, and that's one of the reasons. Flash is a very economical tool for TV animation. When you can still use the same character animation sequences, but changing a background and changing a prop, at least would show some kind of refrain and not just stick this moment in Premiere, repeat it again.
Like, here are some great song moments from the show that I can remember. Pinky's Lament. That didn't have any repeating animation cycles. None at all. Or You'll Play Your Part. That didn't have any loops either.
Yeah, that did.
No, it didn't.
As much as I love that song, it's like my favorite song.
The only time it did any loop, and it still had a slight edit to it, it was when the princess came together. Your time is coming soon. At least on the second time they did it, they land from the sky. That was the difference. Now, that's not a big loop to me. The big loops are the ones that are just painfully obvious, which is this song and a Spice Up Your Life song. There are plenty of examples, though, where they don't do that, and the visuals carry the song, and that's what I like. I don't want them to get lazy. Please don't get lazy, Hasbro.
Like with the like the one moment I can point out just to reconcile with your point is the one where they're like, it's like the pink background and they're like walking forward or whatever, like all the main six are walking forward or whatever. That's exactly the one that like points out to me the most as, oh, that one makes me upset, because it like is so slow too that it's so obvious that you can see it's repeated animation, so it's just it feels lazy.
The show is more than capable of doing more, especially with how big it's gotten, so please don't get lazy on us. That's it. That's all I got. I'm done.
I also want to add something. Venomous Pie mentioned that in the 1970s, Disney was looping some of their animation cycles, such as Robin Hood, the Aristocats, and Jungle Book. But that's because they were dealing with financial problems.
And that they had to draw that shit on cells. Like,
yeah, the thing is with Flash is that Flash has libraries where you can keep these sequences.
Yeah, it's copy paste with no offense, of course, but like there are techniques with Flash. With cells, it was literally the same cells being used over and over again.
Yeah.
Basically, like, animation back then, they were goddamn troopers.
Yeah. And I mean, I think one thing that it's like a meeting halfway thing. It's not really a problem with the whole of repeating sequences. In that case, we would have an issue of every time a unicorn uses magic or any time that a Pegasus flaps its wings. It's more of how it's used when it's not just a cycle and it's a full-on scene. So yeah. Who was before Blissey?
I believe it was Golden.
Yeah, Golden. It was me. Okay, I just want to make sure there are no connection problems, no cutouts, none of that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm just gonna say the one major point. Everybody can either roll their eyes, because I'm gonna echo off of this. The song was horribly placed. I disagree. Yeah, because you have, as soon as that bottle of anger is unleashed and it infects Big Mac, that one jewelry clerk, and Granny Smith, we cut to a scene where the main six are all happy with what they're solving, and then they're singing about, oh, being happy friends, and right in the middle of the song, you see Trixie go, happy, and they're still singing their song. What the hell was that?
I think that was the point. I think it was more of a joke.
Juxtaposition. was
It's almost
Okay,
like a
juxtaposition.
thematic.
Self-aware, that's no excuse.
Yes, Rich. Yes, we have the same thought process
Yeah,
here. I
it's
love this
almost
man.
like it's a thematic parallel for the sake of comedy.
Exactly. Look
Well,
at that.
I wasn't laughing. I'm just sitting there scratching my head like, what the hell am I watching?
Help!
If it's meant to be funny and watching somebody suffer, it gets a little too mean-spirited. Yes, I get that Trixie was a pain in the dick, but to put it up to this degree,
I liked it.
dude, that's like this is the levels of the Rainbow Dash cider joke from Super Speedy.
Oh boy, let's not get to super speedy territory, because then we'll be here all day, and I want to go swimming at some point today.
I get your point, but I don't
Sorry,
get your
go
point at all.
Well, I
Okay.
would say like I would say for the I think the point was obviously it was juxtaposition,
Yeah,
but also it was for the like the way it themes it is supposed to show you this functional friendship. Oh, we're so good, we got us all figured out, we're like family. To the absolutely dysfunctional one that barely works. That's kind of like why it periodically cuts back through it throughout the episode as like a time transition as well. It's the same thing. It's the climax more or less.
Somebody get this man a Patreon and subscribers.
Yes. Give this man 1,000,000 bits.
Please. I love that. Then make YouTube videos all the time and make these amazing points. There you go.
So was that your point, Golden?
Yes, I'm gonna stop right there.
I just thought the song
Okay.
sucked.
I liked the song, but I felt like we were in a different episode when watching it.
It felt like we were in Equestria Girls, bro. That's what exactly it feels like.
You know what,
It was like,
actually,
oh,
real
yeah.
quick, can I
Yes.
add in something really quick, just a tiny little point?
Go ahead.
The fact that escape rooms exist in Equestria. Josh's face lit up when he saw that.
I have something. No one even noticed this. Napoleon Dynamite exists in Equestria. The
Oh,
little
that-
ginger
That was
pony.
in.
Yes.
well, yeah, but that was in like
Totally.
that was in party. What do we call it? That party
Party
pooped.
pooped?
No,
Was
the
it?
other one.
Pinky Pride?
Pinky
Party
Pride.
of
Yeah.
one? Oh.
Okay, you know what? I must have missed it then. But like this
Yeah.
pony here, he's
Yeah, it was-
totally Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, it was like sort of a cameo.
My God,
during-
that sucks.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's funny because, yeah, 2AM actually put down the escape room should have been its own episode. I absolutely agree. It really should have been its own episode. Like, there's more than enough material you could have put in for a 22-minute episode on an escape room.
But you see, Toon Critic, you can't hate the episode for what it's not. Mr. Ender said so.
Well,
Yeah,
Mr.
don't you know the
Ender's
laws
word
of
is
review?
law.
well, fuck Mr.
Exactly.
Enter. Anyway, who's up next?
Exactly.
Wow.
I think it's my turn.
You know what? By that logic, I'll still complain about the Equestria game's missed potential.
Oh, dear.
No. Please.
Yeah,
I've been asking that for 2 turns.
All right. Who's, I believe, Key,
I
it's
was-
you?
Yeah. What I didn't like about the episode. Okay, let me. This is more of a story. So, all right, we just got done seeing the first episode, and we're getting on to the second one. And I had a theory that I told for watching it, and I was like, off. Wait, this is part of the premiere. What if because they explicitly that Starlight's powers are connected to her emotion, and she was just like, and I was like, okay, they made a point to explicitly state that it's connected to her emotion. She has a new enemy that is completely based around emotion-based energy. I thought Trixie, until like the third freaking act, was Chrysalis or a rogue changeling in disguise trying to siphon off, trying to weaken her down by being an annoying piece of shit. And I was just like, God, this would have been a more entertaining episode. But I think this is only to further my point, not of missed opportunity or anything. Trixie just felt so off in this episode compared to how she's been written in season 6 onwards, that they just took the meter and cranked it up to 11, and it's like I understand why they did it, because they needed to drive the point forward of, someone bottling their emotions and everything. I do get that. However, part of me also questions did they have to go to that hyperbolic level? And then I have to reel back and be like, as much as I hate to say it, it's a kid show, and usually when they do these kind of things, they do go to a hyperbolic level. It's a way to understand why they did it. It's not an excuse. I really do. I'm someone who is a fan of Trixie. I do like Trixie. I like Trixie ever since season 6. I used to not like her prior to NSP, but she was just not well written in this episode, and that was my gripe.
What are you talking about? Trixie's always been written this badly.
Oh.
Will, you could just learn to respect others' opinions.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh.
This back. Oh wait, I was the first person, so we're done.
Okay.
No, we're not.
Oh.
We kinda missed someone who should have went 3 turns ago.
Who?
Me!
Whoa!
Oh,
We thought you
Yeah.
already.
Wait, did we skip over Ninja?
yes, you did.
I
did.
didn't-
I was gonna
You
mention
didn't
that.
say anything. You
No,
kind of just said I've been scared never scared. Imagine you just say it's my turn. You
I
should have
feel
said
insulted.
that, guys.
I
it's
said
my
multiple
turn.
times. When Golden was about to go, I was like, actually, it's
Well,
my
you
turn.
didn't
Then
say
we went
it
to
like
Golden.
Yeah,
Then when it went to
Say-
Keyframe, I was like, actually, it's my turn. And it's like, no, I guess we're doing Keyframe now.
Okay,
Ugh.
I apologize.
Go ahead, Ninja. I'm sorry.
I apologize,
Brit.
Ninja. You finish off.
You people are as blind as Trixie, my lord.
It's less blind and more deaf.
Okay, now here's the thing. This is an excellent segue, because you were just talking about respecting other people's opinions, that I do not. And we have covered some very abstract complaints on Roundtable is Magic, and in this case I'm glad this turned out this way and that I'm going last. We sometimes criticize things that aren't even connected to the show, such as BabsCon, things after BabsCon, some teasers, and my least favorite thing about this episode is all of you! This episode is amazing. I don't really have anything wrong with it, and I don't have anything personally that I have against it. So you know what? This is going to be my hill to die on. I'm breaking the rules and rebuttaling to all of your things. This is my gosh darn hill. Trixie is acting like a Dixie because she's an egomaniac. It makes complete sense. You know, when she gets her ego up, she becomes completely self-centered and blind to others around her. I know many people who are just like that. And she just recently saved the entire goddamn country. And just now she did magic that unicorns can barely do, like teleportation. You know, it's canon that most unicorns can't do stuff like that. So yeah, her ego is through the roof, and it makes sense that she's acting this way too, because no one is checking her on her ego. Discord isn't here, and Starlight's way too passive. Breathe in, breathe out. And I'm of the opinion that just because I dislike a character in an episode doesn't initially make it a flaw, especially when the episode makes that how it was intended to happen. Like, of course Trixie was acting this way, so we can empathize with how angry Starlight is. I don't have anything negative to say, honestly. I like this episode. I love this episode very much. So
Yeah, I kind of agree with Ninja on the Trixie department. I don't think Trixie's behavior was out of the norm at all because, again, she got an ego trip. She wasn't toned down. Nobody toned her down. And when she gets it going, it starts going. I mean, for God's sake, she just got an award for helping to save everybody from the changelings. If that wasn't enough of an ego boost, then she figures out, oh my God, I can do magic. Look what I can do.
It's justifiable. You know what? It is justifiable.
justified.
yeah, so
Hence
even though I disliked Trixie in this episode, I thought, gosh, she's being really unbearable. I understood that wasn't a fault with the episode. That's just my own personal taste going, saying, oh man, this really busts my balls, you know, this. But overall, it benefited my viewing experience because I was, like you said, I think, was it Will? No, yeah, it was Voice. You felt so good when she got what she deserves, that sense of catharsis, that sense of, yeah, this was an excellent payoff. It wasn't bad writing at all. It wasn't out of character at all. It was beautiful. And I apologize that I fundamentally broken the rules of Roundtable by not having negative things to say, but I didn't.
I didn't have negative things to say about Fulton or cutie marks.
Oh, okay, but I
Alright.
don't apologize for anything. Ha 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 ha.
All right. So I think this nicely wraps up the episode. So before I forget, please go and give a watch to not only Luximus, who I forgot to say in the last episode, but also give and subscribe to Razor Reviews. He has been on, I believe, what is it? Analyst Bronies React for not
Yes.
just the friendship games, but I think also for
Well,
I think,
well, the one coming up, I believe you are.
Yes, the one coming up, the season 6 finale one. I'll be on that one as well.
Ooh,
Okay.
Also, I just uploaded while this was happening. This podcast was happening. I uploaded my review for the pilot episodes. Just plug.
That's really cool.
all right.
Yeah.
So
Well, if you want to find out what I had to say, you can check out my reviews here.
Yeah, I know, right? It's almost like I planned it.
Well, you know what? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut in, but I think that Razor should post a link to his reviews in the chat right now, so all these wonderful people can go check him out, see more in-depth thoughts on Razor's reviews.
I think
Alright,
that would
I
work
will-
best.
I'll try. Alright.
Sorry, hang on. Internet's acting up a little bit. Let me see if I can fix this. Come on.
Let's see here.
I had a lot of fun with these two back-to-back things. Like, it's a
This
shame
is
we
cool.
can't do. I don't know.
So,
Alright, so
I
with
had a
that
lot
being
of fun
said,
with it.
thank you guys for watching. Kefren, if they have made it this far, what should they put down?
You should put down Glim Glam and the Zim Zam.
Glim Glam and the
Yes.
Zimzams. Alright, so join us next week for when we tackle the episode titled A Flurry of Emotions. I am not saying what the episode is, but it's going to be interesting, with our special guest, Spirit Productions.
oh boy.
That's
deer.
that's the other Dur.
The deer.
The female
Dur.
tie.
Dur.
Dur. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. As always, if you've seen this live, thank you for participating in the chat with us and all our crazy shenanigans. Also, I once again apologize for voice blowing out everyone's ears. He will be punished for later.
Oh my.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm having a fucking party.
Oh, Derek, we love you.
And remember,
Shout out to Derek.
wherever you are in your lowest points of your life, Derek is there for you.
Yes.
Exactly.
So that being said,
Derek is
thank
love.
you all for watching. Stay awesome. See you on the next episode.
Bye-bye.